For kangaroos, the greatest challenges come from within their own society.
Warning. This video contains graphic descriptions of animal cruelty. Viewer discretion is advised. Welcome back to Nature is Phenomenal. Before we start, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below so that you never miss out on any of our future videos. Here are animals that hate humans. Tigers. Baby tigers used for cub petting encounters or photo ops at tourist traps are often ripped from their mothers shortly after birth. These cubs experience extreme stress, and some are even subjected to physical abuse. Once the tigers are no longer babies and become too large and dangerous to pose for pictures, they're typically shipped off to other roadside zoos and forgotten. Since 1990, more than 125 big cats and 20 humans have died in captivity-related incidents in the US. For everyone's safety, keep your hands away from tigers.
For a very first encounter, you couldn't have asked for it to go any better or any smoother. You know, no one's been...
Bears. Across the country, hundreds of bears spend their lives confined to small concrete-floored enclosures in roadside zoos. Some cubs are separated from their mothers as infants, and instead of being nurtured as nature intended, they too spend their days being forced to participate in photo ops with tourists. Their lives are typically devoid of any comfort and devoid of any opportunities to engage in natural behavior. Many bears locked up in roadside zoos are deprived of the proper veterinary care needed to treat the mental, and also physical, problems that they can develop in these poor conditions. Cubs used for photo ops have been observed pacing, crying out, and chewing on cage bars, all signs of psychological distress. Petting programs at roadside zoos give humans a false sense of security around bears, and the consequences have repeatedly proven deadly. Never attempt to feed, approach, or pose for a photo near a bear.
That's a risky move on her part. Anytime.
Seals and sea lions. Why would people run up to touch sea lions resting on the beach when they can get quote-unquote kisses from them at a county fair? In 2016, a seal pup was euthanized by authorities after a woman spotted the lone animal on a Washington state beach, stuffed him into a shopping bag, and took him to her home. Her actions may have been an attempt at rescuing the creature, but regardless, such actions ended up hurting him. Elephants. A few supposed sanctuaries around the world have turned out to be truly dismal in their efforts to care for elephants. At these sanctuaries, young elephants are beaten into submission and then forced to let travelers ride on their backs. They're made to perform confusing and sometimes painful tricks, including walking on tight ropes, balancing on two legs on a small drum, painting pictures, and dancing. Because public awareness of cruelty to captive elephants has increased, many elephant attraction centers are trying to dupe tourists by advertising themselves with words like sanctuary, rescue center, refuge, and retirement facility. But the abusive training methods and deprivation are the same. Fear, domination, and pain cause the elephants to follow the trainer's commands to let people ride, feed, touch, and even bathe them. It isn't safe for humans to make direct contact with elephants, especially not those who undergo such psychologically damaging conditions. According to reports, 8 people were fatally trampled by elephants in just 10 days in the Indian state of West Bengal in 2019. Stingrays. Everything about a marine animal's life in a touch tank is artificial. These animals are unable to engage in natural behavior that's important for their well-being. They can't swim vast distances, they can't migrate, they can't socialize when they choose, and they can't forage for food. In such tanks, aquatic animals are unable to avoid continual onslaughts of groping hands that not only fail to let them be, but contaminate the water they live in with bacteria. Within a month of SeaQuest's grand opening in Folsom, California, a stingray died. Meanwhile, at SeaQuest's Colorado location, a person was injured by a stingray barb that became stuck in the individual's hand. Stingray's barb tissue is commonly clipped every few months when the animals are used in touch tanks, which places them at risk for stress, infection, and greater injury. This practice also leads people to underestimate the risk involved when approaching stingrays in the sea who haven't been mutilated.
Here, divers can swim alongside the rays and meet these remarkable animals.
Dolphins. Dolphins at Swim with Dolphins attractions are forced to stay in claustrophobic swimming pools or polluted sea pens. Many develop painful conditions, such as stomach ulcers, and some die prematurely from the stressful conditions of captivity. Many of these attractions operate continuously, giving the animals little break from tourists. Worse yet, many of the tourists can pass illnesses to them. The stress of captivity has prompted hostility in dolphins, leading to instances of tourists being bitten and sustaining broken bones during their swimming sessions. Marine parks lead people to believe that it's okay to touch dolphins, and this has led to fatal consequences. In 2016, a story made headlines about a mob of beachgoers who pulled a baby dolphin from the ocean and passed it around for selfies, eventually leading to its death.
Connecting with nature in a mindful way.
Kangaroos. Like all other wild animals, kangaroos don't thrive in cramped, barren conditions. In 2016, news outlets across Canada reported that a kangaroo at a traveling pet zoo, kept for periods of time in an outdoor pen with inadequate shade and drinking water, began foaming at the mouth. A concerned passerby told reporters that he became aware of the kangaroo's condition when his 10-year-old sister began to cry after seeing the animal lying on the concrete floor of a cage with no protection from the sun. Members of the public attempt to pet or feed kangaroos in nature, no doubt because many roadside zoos feature kangaroo walkabouts or allow photo ops with baby roos.
This male
Octopuses. Why not decide to handle an octopus, since apparently it's okay to touch any animal at an interactive aquarium? Like with stingrays, it's a mistake to make this assumption about octopuses, and that's the mistake an aspiring social media star made when she decided to film herself attempting to eat a live octopus. Octopuses are so intelligent that they're sometimes referred to as primates of the sea. Like chimpanzees, crows, dolphins, and humans, they use tools. They're complex and clever individuals, not causes for abuse and endangerment. Animal cruelty and neglect are ongoing phenomena, and such situations as the ones mentioned are hardly anything new. If you're a person who actively fights for animal rights, educating yourself on situations like these are helpful, as they will show you where and why animals are being mistreated, keeping you informed, and showing you where you can fight to stop this mistreatment.
Males may be strangled and eaten by females. Males are often smaller than...
This brings us to the end of our video. Hit like and subscribe, and be sure to check out our past uploads to find videos on your favorite animals. With that, I'll see you in the next video.